Hello, BookTube. I have another mail haul, and you've promised me that you're not getting tired of these. I'm certainly not getting tired of doing them myself, and they really are a good illustration of how much stuff comes here to Hyde Cottage. They're not. This is not the whole of my book intake, as big as it is. It's still not the whole thing. I tend to lug off a large pile of books from the Christian Science Monitor every time I go there, and there's also secondhand books that I get that I sometimes don't haul on camera. Maybe I should start doing those as well. Maybe I should show every single book that comes through my life. I can't imagine that wouldn't get boring mighty fast. But in the meantime, I thought we'd go through these. There's some interesting sized stuff here. It's all manila envelopes again, so it's probably all finished copies. Well, let's see. Let's see what we have. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Okay, this comes out in mid-May. So it looks like April's getting a tiny break. This is a historical novel that I just loved. It's called The House at Bishopsgate by Kate Hickman. It's a lovely thing, and it's let me read you about it. It's 1611. Celia Lamprey looks out across the rooftops of Aleppo for the last time. After 10 years living in the Orient, she and her husband, Paul Pindar, are setting sail for England, taking with them the legendary diamond, the Sultan's Blue, despite the curse that surrounds it. They arrive to find a country much changed. Bishopsgate, just outside of London city walls and once surrounded by fields, is now a muddy thoroughfare choked with carriages, from which carpenters, gardeners, and footmen descend, summoned to restore Pindar's great house to its former splendor. But all is not as it seems. Celia is frail and the marriage childless. Between the couple lies a great unspoken darkness. Now, as they await the arrival of Celia's friend Annetta from Venice, another woman, the alluring widow Frances Sydenham, becomes increasingly indispensable to the running of the household and the happiness of its inhabitants. But who is this strange woman, and what are her real motives? Vividly evoking Jacobean society, The House at Bishopsgate is a sumptuously, richly woven story of marital secrets and sexual jealousy from a master of historical fiction. And the master of historical fiction is that. Kate Hickman, who has done Courtesans and Daughters of Britannia. I really like this. I got the distinct impression that I was... In the beginning, you get the impression that you're coming in to a story that's already unfolding, and I think that's because there was a novel before this that dealt with that cursed diamond and with the family, is the discovery of it and whatnot. But it doesn't matter. Within 10 pages, within 20 pages, the book just sweeps you away. It really is quite good. So that's a good start. Let's move on. Let's move on to this next one here. What have we here? Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Okay, this is... I requested this. This is excellent. This comes out in August. It's by Jeffrey Lee. It's called God's Wolf. And it is the life of the most notorious of all crusaders, the Scourge of Saladin. Those of you who know your crusades will know who we're talking about already. Let me see here. What does the pub sheet say? Oh. Okay, I didn't see that coming. In a 2010 terrorist plot, Al-Qaeda hid a bomb in a FedEx shipment addressed to Reynald de Chatillon, the man who had died centuries ago in the Crusades. Who was this man, and how did he engender such rancor over so many centuries? This book is a sweeping story of Reynald de Chatillon, one of the most notorious Crusader knights, simultaneously a great Christian hero of the Second Crusade and one of the most reviled figures in Islamic history. Reynald remains as controversial and as vividly present in the minds of many in the Middle East as the story of the Crusades themselves. Okay, so this is... I read this already, and it's quite good. If anything, I mean, it's a warts and all portrait of Reynald, and when it comes to this man, I don't know, those of you, people don't read about the Crusades anymore the way they used to in school, so nowadays it's entirely possible that even a college graduate will have been exposed to nothing about the Crusades at all. You'll know what they are, that they happened, but you won't have read any poetry, you won't have read any of the famous histories. It used to be, once upon a time, in the 1950s or earlier, an American high school graduate would know the names, they would know the roll call of the Crusades. That isn't true anymore. So this book very likely is introducing a whole generation of readers to Raynell, when he was, once upon a time, an absolutely infamous figure. And when I say this is a warts and all portrait, that's a good thing, because in his case, there's nothing but warts. He was an odious, horrible, subhuman, bloody-minded, homicidal ogre. And you get a very strong sense, this book actually pulls its punches, but you get a very strong sense of why he would be reviled even now. Why his name would have passed down through families for how horrible he was. But he didn't die in his bed, so there's a kind of karma there. But anyway, let's move on. So, all right, so we have a piece of historical fiction and a historical biography. That's, we're doing just fine. Let's see, the next, all right, we'll continue with a Steve streak here. No pub sheet for this? No? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. This comes out in July, and this is To the New Owners by Madeline Blaze. And it's a book about Martha's Vineyard, where I have spent many, many, many happy days. It's a memoir of Martha's Vineyard. In the 1970s, Madeline Blaze's in-laws purchased a vacation house on Martha's Vineyard for the exorbitant sum of $80,000. A little more than 2 miles down a poorly marked one-lane dirt road, the house was better termed a shack. It had no electricity or modern plumbing, the roof leaked, and the mice had invaded the walls. It was perfect. Sitting on Tisbury Great Pond, if you ever get a chance. The Great Ponds of Martha's Vineyard, especially. Well, anyway, let's just continue. The house faced the ocean and the sky, and though it was eventually replaced by a sturdier structure, the ethos remained the same. No heat, no TV, and no telephone. Instead, there were countless hours at the beach, meals cooked and savored with friends, nights talking under the stars, until in 2014 the house was sold. To a foreign owner, I almost certainly guarantee you, and for probably 10 or maybe even 15 times the original buying price. To the New Owners is Madeline Blaze's charming, evocative memoir of this house and to the vineyard itself. From the history of the island and its famous visitors to the abundant natural beauty. But more than that, this is an elegy for a special place. Many of us have one place that anchors our most powerful memories. For Blaze, it was the Vineyard House, a retreat and a dependable pleasure that also measured changes in her family. Okay, I think I'm really going to like this book. I could be wrong. It might be horribly done. But I vividly remember the vineyard that I think this book is also remembering. It is largely gone. But in living memory, it still existed. A place that... Well, okay, let's just say that's another Steve book. So we're doing just fine. We only have 2 books left. So this could be a sweep, which also has never happened. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, my. To the New Owners. I wonder if the whole thing is a letter to the new owners about what they're getting. But they're not going to care. They're not going to care at all. It's going to be a Dubai oil company buying something just to rip it to pieces, tear it down, raise the ground, and build a McMansion that blots out Tisbury Great Pond. But having a house at the vineyard now that isn't weatherized, so that you're living around a pot-bellied stove, you decide to stay there when the weather's cold, so that... Oh. Let's just move on. Let's just move on here. Oh, no, okay. I did not request this, but this is also a Steve book. Oh, my. Okay. This is by James Del Burgo. It is Collecting the World. Hans Sloane and the Origins of the British Museum. Look at that. This is from Harvard. Comes out in July. Oh, my. So in 1759, the British Museum opened its doors to the general public, the first free national museum in the world. James Del Burgo's biography of Hans Sloane recounts the story behind its creation, told through the life of a figure with an insatiable ambition to pit universal knowledge against superstition and the means to realize his dream. Born in Northern Ireland in 1660, Sloane amassed a fortune as a London society physician, becoming a member of the Whig establishment and president of the Royal Society and the Royal College of Physicians. His wealth and contacts enabled him to assemble an encyclopedic collection of specimens and objects the most famous cabinet of curiosities of its time. For Sloane, however, collecting a world of objects meant collecting a world of people, including slaves. His marriage to the heir of a sugar plantation in Jamaica gave Sloane access to the experiences of his planters and the folkways of their human property. With few curbs on his passion for collecting, he established a network of agents to supply artifacts from China, India, North America, the Caribbean, and beyond. Wampum beads, rare manuscripts, a shoe made from human skin. Nothing was off limits to Sloane's imagination. This splendidly illustrated volume offers a new perspective on the entanglements of global scientific discovery with imperialism in the 18th century. The first biography of Sloane, based on a full range of his writings and collections, this book tells the rich and complex story of one of the Enlightenment's most controversial luminaries. Okay. All right. Steve is sold. Excellent. Fantastic. I assume this advanced copy, this is way too far advanced to have... Yeah, okay, so we're told that it's lavishly illustrated, but there are no illustrations in this. That's all right, though. I'll get the finished copy, and I've got a long time to wait for it. Fantastic. I have many fond memories of the British Museum. I tell you, this whole mail haul is inducing Grandpa Simpson stories. All right, so we've got one more to go. Do we have a drum roll? Are we going to have an entirely Steve haul? Wouldn't that be something? What is this last one going to be? Oh! Okay. All right, it's complete. We don't get much more Steve than this. This is another copy of So High a Blood by Morgan Ring, a biography of King Henry VIII's niece. So a Tudor book. Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, so I am reviewing this for Open Letters Monthly. It will be part of my Year with the Tudors 2. And now I have a second copy. So I think one of you in the comments field said that you were really interested in this, that was going to go on your TBR. I only recall one comment. Was it Britt? Was it you? If it was, I now have a copy to send someone. So, and obviously, as you can tell from that rather imprecise flailing around, I still haven't figured out how to do giveaways on this channel. I will. First come, first serve just seems so mercenary. But we'll figure it out together. But for now, it's an entirely Steve haul. So High a Blood, a Tudor biography, collecting the world about the British Museum, where I read Dante for the first time. To the new owners, about Martha's Vineyard, where I've spent much, much time, including in old, ramshackle, unweatherized, non-electricity shacks. God's Wolf, about the Crusades, a historical military biography of a figure whose I haven't read a biography of him in English. Never. So, and The House at Bishopsgate, and a lush, lavish historical novel. So there you go. And that'll do it for now. I can't expect the mail hauls to get any better, so I will quit while I'm ahead. And I'll see you soon, Book 2. Thank you.